All right, so you've been searching for the best dialer and phone calling app for Monday CRM that integrates seamlessly and keeps your teams on track and on task. This is the right place to be. Aircall is the best, most natural feeling app and dialer that you can get and integrate with Monday CRM. I'm going to show you what it looks like and how to do all the integration right here. So let's get started. So this first step in the process is going to be downloading the integration for Aircall in Monday CRM. So navigate to Monday CRM, click on the little puzzle piece up here in the top right corner for the Monday Marketplace, type in Aircall, and you'll pop up with two different options here. So this first one is old and they're deprecating it. So don't use this one. Only use the Aircall call and SMS integration. This is the one they're going to be using moving forward. And then click on Install App. A really important thing to note here is they built it so you have to install it on all workplaces for this to work properly. So you're going to want to keep that clicked, and then you're going to click on Install. Another really important thing to note is when you're doing this, you need to be an admin on both the Monday CRM and on Aircall. Otherwise, this won't work. You have to have administrative rights on both apps and software in order to have a actual complete integration. All right, the next step is they're going to ask you to start syncing up your messages or your calls on the different boards within Monday and within the emails and activities feed. So I would imagine Aircall's calling is probably the first thing you'll have set up, and then the messaging would be next. Then you just come in, choose your workspace. So I have this CRM demo workspace I'm going to use. Then I'm going to click Add App. All right, so now once the app's added, it'll pop open with this Monday doc with all the instructions that you need to follow to then do the integration on the Aircall side. So now I've navigated over to the Aircall dashboard, and this is where you're going to go look for the integration to Monday. Over here on the sidebar, you're going to see integrations and API, and then it'll come up with a list with all the different things you can integrate with. I've done this previously, so Monday popped up here. So if it's not popping up for you, you type in monday.com, then you click monday.com v2, and then install integration. All right, then you click authorize here, and then you add the numbers you have. So this is the number I currently have with Aircall. And then I will click add numbers. You can also skip if you don't have any numbers yet. Now it's just going to ask you to authorize getting a connection with Monday. So once you've done all of the authorization and it's complete, you should be back to your dashboard here in Aircall. And you have general settings, SMS automation. It'll show you if your integration's active and which numbers are connected. If you go over to settings, it'll show here the two boards that were added to your Monday account for the calls and for the text messages. And then starting off at the top here, it says, choose your Monday contact or lead board. This is going to be where all of your data is going to be synced from. So I personally do the contacts board. So I just searched for the contacts board and added that, because whenever I have a new lead come in, I add them to the contacts board automatically so that it's like a repository. So then all my contact information is always synced. And then you choose which phone number column that you want to have synced up, and then the name. So some people have like a first and last name column. I just go with the contact's name for the contact column, for the name column. And then you can do some more customizations with the inside cards if you want, that's on the dialer, and then enable contact creation from the dialer. So it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. I tend to like my CRM to stay like everything in there is kind of like the one source of truth. So I don't do that. Sync contact information. So this one is interesting. If you don't input, so if you export if you want to have everything synced up from the beginning, you have to have all of your contact information in Aircall right away. So you're going to have to export it and import it in there, or every time you call someone, it'll automatically look for it in Monday and then sync it up so that the contact card shows up. So kind of up to you on how you want to do this, but Realistically, I'm usually working out of Monday, so I don't really rely on the contact list in Aircall per se. I'm just using the contacts board within Monday, and then there's the extension that I'll show you in a second that I work off of. And then logging calls and messages as timeline events. Yes, you do want that on, so make sure you do have that on so it shows up in your emails and activities. So the next thing is these automation rules. So you can use these Aircall tags, and I'll show you how to set those up in a minute. But I usually have those go to my contacts board, and then you can see which column that contains the phone number we're going to work from, which is going to be phone, and then you add an automation rule, and then we're going to use this for like the disposition. And I'll show you how that works in a second. So enable call logging, yes. Enable message logging, up to you. And then the log transcriptions, yes, we do want that. So the next thing we're going to do is go to call settings and then tags to set up our disposition tags. And I've already set up a few here. No answer, call, book, left voicemail. These are going to match up with your disposition column in the contacts board. And we haven't set those up yet, but I previously did it before. So it's just a status column here. Call it Aircall disposition. You put all your dispositions here. No answer, left voicemail, callback requested, not interested. These are pretty standard ones, I would say. So I just created 3 of them here. No answer, call, book, left voicemail. So you just click add tag. We'll do another one. We'll do like not interested. Not interested. We'll make that red. Confirm. And then if you go over to the integrations and API, then go back to the Monday V2. Whoops, don't click on that one. Click on this one. And then settings. So now you're going to go back to the automation rules, and I've set up a couple of them here. But you choose your board. So I choose contacts 2025, and then it'll ask you the phone number that you want. So I clicked phone, and then you add an automation rule, and then your options here that we just set up for the tags. I'll be honest, sometimes they take a while to show up. So you either have to refresh or log out and log back in, and then they'll all show up. So we'll go with no answer, and then choose your Aircall disposition column, and then no answer from the Monday column here. So wrong number, no answer, click add an automation rule. We'll go with call booked, and then Aircall disposition, and then call booked. Where's that at? Call booked, add. We'll do the third one. As you can see, the other one, the fourth one didn't pop up. Aircall disposition, left voicemail, add, and then save changes. And then sometimes this takes a while to save as well. So once we have all that set up, we can go back to the home screen and we could start downloading the apps. So you have the desktop app here that you need to download. So if you have Windows, go ahead and download these here. And then you have the mobile app, and then you have the browser extension. So make sure you download the extension as well to make things a little bit easier for your day-to-day operations with Aircall. Click add extension. Then it throws it up there, and you'll see there's a little lock on there. So you can pin it if you click right here. And then once you've pinned it, you can click on it, and then you can log in. Once you've logged in, it might say it's not compatible with the domain. So we're just going to go back over to Monday CRM, and you can see that it's green now, so it's compatible with this domain. And then you're going to just edit whatever you want it to have for the extension. So show number panels on pages. So it's this little green guy. And then you have the highlight phone numbers. See how this is green and highlighted. Detect hidden numbers. It'll find other hidden numbers on a page. And then use Aircall Workspace. These are the settings I usually like to have. And then you can either use this to call numbers, or if they're highlighted and you have it set as your default, it'll automatically pop up with your Aircall Workspace dialer. And here you can see all the different settings you have. You can look at your contacts here, and you can go ahead and click start a conversation and then dial a number. So This is probably the best and most straightforward way to do it, is to just have it already, our Monday CRM already open. Click on there, it'll populate in here. Then you click call, and then the person on the other side answers. And then once you've had the call, you can put the disposition here. So we'll put call booked, and this is going to show up here in the emails and activities. So call went well. And then you can assign a team member, and then save how well the call was and add it to the power dialer if you want. And then click close conversation. Then you're all set. All right, I had to do a quick menu change here. So to show you, the Aircall disposition got logged here. So call booked, that was just automatic from the call itself and the integration. And then if you click into the contact itself, you can see in the emails and activities feed, it logged the Aircall information. So I made a few other calls after that one, but you could see if you click on it, it says how long it was, the phone number it was calling from, the phone number it called to, and then you can copy and paste this URL and put it in your URL to get the recording. Then it does the tag for call booked, which is the disposition here that I linked it to, and then the comment, which is the note. So another place you can look is if you go over to the Aircalls board. So you go to the Aircalls board, which you can see here on the left. I've uninstalled and reinstalled this a few times, but by default, for some reason, it goes to work management. So if you have work management, it'll go to work management. Honestly, I don't know if you only have CRM, if it just goes to your CRM workspace. So you'll have to move these boards over to your CRM, but by default, it'll add an Aircall calls, Aircall messages. And then here you can see the tags for the disposition, start, answer time and date, the video recordings. You could click here, listen to those. Yeah, and then all the other data that goes along with the call there. So that's pretty much it for setting up Aircall and integrating it with money.com. There's a lot more other features depending on the tier of Aircall that you get, and obviously the tier of Monday as well, of what you can do. But that's pretty much everything you need to know to get it set up and going. If you'd like some help with that, feel free to reach out to me. All of my information is in the description below, and thanks for watching.